boys and girls, this is Farmer Lena from Tinicum Library, and I'm back at my farm with all my friends. My little Judy and my little Arnold, I missed them so much. Yes, I did. All my animals, Daisy, my little cow, and my horse, I missed them all so much. We really did try to catch up last night, and I'm a little sleepy today. But we're here so we can read some books and have a little fun. So Judy and Arnold, I know you're glad to see me because I'm glad to see you. We're going to sing The More We Get Together. You ready, boys and girls? The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Okay, we're going to read books, and I first want to tell you about farmers, because now I'm back on the farm, and I had farmers that came from nearby towns to help me with my farm when I was at the zoo, and I had some farm hands that lived in my house while I was away. So the farm looks pretty good. It really does. But I want to talk about farmers. Some of you may not have ever visited a farm, but my farm, I'll show you what we do. The first page says, "Hello, farmers." And I do have some apple trees on my farm and some peach trees. We're picking the peaches now because this is peach season. And in September, we're going to get a whole bunch of apples. And we sell them at our roadside stand, and we give them away to people who need food. Farmers raise animals, and that's what I do. And I grow crops. They grow crops. Crops like corn become food for fuel, and I have lots of corn. Farmers plant seeds in big fields. The seeds grow into crops. Then farmers harvest them. So this is what it started out as, a little tiny seed like that. And then it grew. And look at this. Is that wonderful? Dairy farmers get milk from cows. Some farmers raise chickens, and I raise Judy. And Judy gives me eggs every morning for my breakfast. And I raised ducks. And my little Arnold gives me duck eggs when I want them, right? But you kind of like your little duck eggs. I gather the eggs. A farmer plows soil with a tractor. Here's our tractor. Other machines plant seeds and pick up crops. So this one is planting the seeds. We have such a big farm that we can't go by and do this. We need a machine to help us plant all the rows nice and neat. Most farmers live and work on their farms, and that's what I do. They spend a lot of time outside. They fix barns and fences. So when I came back, we did have to fix a couple fences. But the farm looks great. Farmers grow and harvest crops. Look at this. It is so amazing how a little tiny seed can grow into this beautiful plant. They take care of their animals. They sell foods to the community. Here's one of our little pigs. Goodbye, farmers. We work until the sun goes down most days because there's always a lot to do with the farm. And we have many, many babies that came into being when I was away. We have, well, this is our farm. This is our tractor. Here's our chickens. Here's our ducks. We don't have too many geese. We only have a couple. But there's our cow. And we got a little calf this year when I was away at the zoo. A little calf was born to his mommy. We have goats. We have sheep. And our little dog Cody helps with the sheep. We have pigs and little piglets. There were some piglets born when I was away too. And horses, and we had a little foal. That's called a baby horse. A foal is a little baby horse. That was born at the farm last night. I got to see a baby born, a little horsey. And out in the fields, that's where we have our tractor and we plow. And we have a scarecrow right back here. And here's our harvester. That helps us pick all the stuff that we grew because our land's so big that we can't do it by hand. And here's some of the things we grow. We grow pumpkins. We have a pumpkin patch. Cabbages, potatoes. We have wheat, and that makes bread. You can make bread out of wheat. We don't have any rice, but we do have corn. We have some blueberries, and we have lots of strawberries. And we have lots of apples that are going to be harvested. So the farm store has flour and jam and a lot of our vegetables that they sell, and our eggs, and our cows produce the milk, and the bread comes from the wheat that we grow. And we don't have too much cheese. They kind of do that in another area. But we have all these animals at the farm. Isn't that great? We have one more book to read, and that is the Big Red Barn. So we have a big red barn, and we have all our animals living there, right? You guys live in the big red barn. We have a big red barn. By the big red barn, in the great green fields, there was a pink pig who was learning to squeal. See that little pig? There was a great big horse and a very little horse that we have now on our farm. And on every barn is a weather vane, of course, a golden flying horse. That's on the top of our barn. There was a big pile of hay and a little pile of hay, and that's where the children play. So I have a granddaughter who comes over to play in the hay, and she jumps up and down in it, and she makes stuff. But in this story, the children are away. Only the animals are here today. The sheep and the donkey, the geese and the goats were making funny noises down in their throats. And an old scarecrow was leaning on his hoe, and a field mouse was born in the field of corn. Look at that. He's so tiny, I wonder if you can see him. Look at the beautiful butterflies. We have lots of those on the farm. Cock-a-doodle-doo! In the barn there was a rooster and a pigeon too, and a big white hen standing on one leg. And under the hen was a quiet egg. Look at that little tiny egg. And there was a bantering rooster and a little bantering hen with a big clutch of eggs. Count them. There's 10. I don't know if you can see them too well, but there's 10 eggs there. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Moo! There was a big brown cow and a little cow too. There's our little calf. There was an old black cat, meow, meow, and a tiger tomcat, yow, yow. Look, aren't they cute? We have cats on our farm too. And dogs. You know you've met Cody before, and he's gotten quite big. There was a big red dog, Bow Wow, with some little puppy dogs all around and warm. They're so cute. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 puppies. We're going to have to find homes for them when they get a little older. And they all live together in the big red barn. And they played all day in the grass and in the hay. When the sun went down in the great green field, the big cow lowed. The little pigs squealed. Squeak, 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 squeak. That's what they do. The horses stomped in the sweet warm hay, and the little donkey gave one last bray. That's what they do. Donkeys do that. The hens were sleeping on their nest. Even the roosters took a rest. The little black bats flew away. We do have some bats on our farm, but they're fine. Out of the barn at the end of the day. Look, it's getting dark. And there they were all night long. Look at them sleeping. Sound asleep in the big red barn. Only the mice were left to play, rustling and squeaking in the hay. They go squeak, squeak, squeak. With the moon sailing high in the dark night sky. And as you see, our scarecrow is always sitting out in the field, protecting our plants away from birds that want to eat the seeds. So weren't they great, great books today? You can find these books and lots of other fun books at the Tinicum Library or your local library. So stop in and learn how to read. It's worth it. It's so much fun to read about different animals, different places to go, different things to make if you want to make something. It's just so much fun. So we have to go now, but it is time to say goodbye to my friends. It is time to say goodbye to my friends. It is time to say goodbye. I'll tip my hat and wink my eye. It's time to say goodbye to our friends. Stop by your local library, pick out a good book, and learn to read, boys and girls. The Tinicum Library has free passes to the Brandywine Zoo if you want to go. And I think they have all kinds of things that you can look at. See you next week. We're going to start a great big book called Eating Our Way Through the Alphabet. That's going to be so much fun. It's a big book and it's going to show you all about vegetables and fruits. So I'll see you next week.